Imagine you are a customer living in Hanoi and you need to have an item delivered from a store in Hanoi to you. How much would the shipping cost be? Let's check on a few popular delivery apps with Viet Post. You only need to place the item in their hands and you'll already pay 15.75 VND. For distances longer than 3 km, you'll have to pay an additional 5.15 VND per km. Grab is not much better, with a starting price of 15 and 5,400 VND for each subsequent kilometer. Green SM offers slightly more competitive prices. 1,000 VND for the first, and an additional 5,000 VND for each kilometer after that. What about further distances? For example, from Ho Chi Minh City, the distance is no longer just a few kilometers but 1682 km. With Viet Post Standard Express Delivery Service, this item would take 2 to 3 days to reach you at a cost of 28,000 VND. With economical delivery, the price will vary, 30,000 VND. But if the item you need is in China, surprisingly, the delivery time for a package only takes 3 to 5 days with extremely reasonable shipping costs of only 1,000 VND. This means the shipping cost in Vietnam is only the same as express shipping within Hanoi for a distance of 1 to 2 km, and it's even cheaper than shipping between Hanoi and Saigon. Regarding this, the company commented that at that price, shipping from one side of the street to the other in the US would be impossible. But that surely anyone who has ever bought goods from China on e-commerce platforms like Shopee or Lazada has experienced this after about 3 to 4 days. From placing the order, the shipper is already at your doorstep to deliver the goods. That speed is sometimes faster than domestic shipping, and the price is very cheap, even including cross-border shipping costs. A representative of a Chinese logistics company stated that the average shipping cost for an e-commerce order from China to Vietnam costs approximately 600 yuan per cubic meter, 333 G. This means each kilogram of goods costs only about 6,300 VD. To achieve this, they chose to abandon traditional methods and completely innovate their shipping model. Let's look at this diagram. This is a cross-border shipping model. After a customer places an order online through an e-commerce platform, the seller receives the order and collects the necessary item. The goods are then sent to a processing company for sorting. The forwarding company handles customs declaration and allocation to prepare for international shipping. Next, the packages are transported by air to the importing country, cleared through customs, and import taxes are paid in the receiving country. The shipping company then receives and handles domestic delivery. Finally, the item is delivered to the consumer in the importing country. However, with cross-border shipping, no one ships just one order. There are millions of orders to handle. When goods are transported simultaneously, the processing becomes much more complex due to the significant contribution of the previous warehouse system to reduce shipping costs. International e-commerce companies apply a method of consolidating goods with many different models and types. At this time, goods are concentrated in warehouses and distribution centers only when a sufficient quantity, usually from 1 to 10,000 units depending on the ship's tonnage, are the goods transported by sea. This is one of the traditional and core strategies of logistics, also known as load consolidation or load optimization. The explanation for this can be understood as each container, ship, truck, or airplane has a certain capacity. Without load consolidation, you still have to bear the entire cost of transporting them from port A to port B. This strategy helps save costs to the maximum extent. However, delivery time will be very long because the distribution center must consolidate enough goods before proceeding with transportation. The Chinese have realized that shortening delivery time is crucial. Maintaining the same shipping price is more effective than reducing costs but making customers wait. Therefore, e-commerce platforms and major players in the Chinese logistics industry have begun searching for solutions. Thanks to advancements in digital technology, e-commerce companies are starting to change their shipping models. Part of this change is large-scale product personalization, also known as mass customization. This strategy allows businesses to tailor products to suit large and small customer groups instead of trying to sell the same product to everyone as before. A clear example is the clothing brand Trangxing. They produce inexpensive clothing, but still focus on specific customer groups in each region. This makes customers feel like the product is made specifically for them. To achieve this, they combine reverse engineering and leverage their technological advantages. Initially, they sell new products in small quantities to test demand. Data analysis technology then identifies high-demand items for production, simultaneously removing non-selling items from the warehouse. Optimizes, reduces weight, and provides products more promptly and in line with trends compared to traditional retail models. Thanks to this strategy, sales in target areas continuously increase as the number of orders in a specific area grows. It is possible to ship goods directly from suppliers to buyers by air, although the shipping cost is higher than traditional methods. However, thanks to the large number of orders, the overall benefits still outweigh the drawback. As a result, the average shipping cost per order does not change significantly, but delivery time and user experience are significantly improved. This not only shortens delivery time, but also creates a personalized feeling for buyers, improving the overall shopping experience. Furthermore, to keep shipping costs low, major players in the shipping industry do not operate in isolation but always cooperate with other major players to build a strong and efficient shipping system. Recently, China witnessed many mergers and acquisitions. The transportation and logistics sector also sees many initial public offerings (IPOs). A notable example in 2021 was the creation of China Logistics Group with a massive capital of $4.7 billion. This group was formed by merging 5 state-owned Chinese companies, thus possessing a huge system that helps save transportation costs to the maximum extent. In addition, Alibaba's logistics group also holds 15% of the shares of Air China Cargo and collaborates with 2 major airlines to leverage the power of air transport to develop services. However, for this strategy to succeed, China focuses particularly on 2 crucial elements in the supply chain. First, the warehousing system, and second, transportation. If these 2 elements are not prioritized, could completely fail. Imagine you are a logistics service business. You have many orders to send to many different customers, but due to errors in the distribution process, customer A's order is mistakenly delivered to customer B, and this is truly a nightmare because the cost of returning goods can be 1.5 to 2 times original shipping cost in the e-commerce logistics industry. Can even account for up to 66% of the goods of value, causing significant losses for your business. Your company will have to bear the entire cost if goods are not delivered to the correct person due to sorting errors. If you are the owner of a small or medium-sized logistics business, even a single serious return incident can lead to the risk of bankruptcy. As mentioned, large-scale product personalization helps increase order volume exponentially. However, when the number of orders increases sharply, sorting parcels in the warehouse becomes a major challenge. This is also a crucial bottleneck that logistics business owners need to solve to ensure operational efficiency. In this difficult situation, the answer lies in warehouse management. Using automation and intelligent machinery, this method has become a secret weapon that has allowed China to lead the shipping game in the future. Currently, warehouses in China are applying two main methods of sorting goods. One is an automated conveyor system, and the other is automated sorting robots. Take the Wuhan branch of China Postal Express and Logistics in Hubei province as an example. With the support of 80 large robots and 240 small robots developed by the company itself, the sorting volume can reach more than 20,000 parcels per hour. The robots can work 24/7, manage more than 300,000 parcels a day. They also have the ability to automatically optimize their work routes, avoid out, and even recharge themselves when needed. Specifically, the sorting system scans information on the shipping documents and automatically pushes parcels into the sorting compartments, reducing labor by up to 70% at the Hanoi Transit Warehouse. 3. China Postal Express and Logistics can 1,000 parcels in just 1 hour. At the Thai warehouse of the Shunning Retail Group, transport robot capable of handling loads up to 800 kilos per carton were operating, delivering 10 times the efficiency of human labor. Furthermore, robots could ensure a maximum reduction in sorting rates. Once sorting was complete, the next step was delivery to the customer. The final stage of delivery is the process of transporting goods from the distribution center or warehouse to the end consumer. Let's look at some data to see why final stage delivery plays such a crucial role in the initial supply chain. It is estimated that final stage delivery accounts for approximately 28 minutes of the total shipping cost. Commerce. If the buyer chooses on-demand shipping, that number can increase to 53 minutes. This journey also directly impacts the experience of 97 minutes of online shopping. It can be said that this stage is not only a decisive factor in customer satisfaction but also affects the profitability and reputation of e-commerce businesses. Think about it. Which business wouldn't want to optimize the process that accounts for 28 to 35 minutes of total operating costs? Before this attractive market, businesses compete fiercely to offer the lowest prices in Vietnam. These businesses can be divided into three main groups. The first group consists of domestic shipping companies, such as Viet Post, known for its cost, effective logistics and fast delivery. Except for Viet, these companies often lack capital, so they have to cooperate with traditional postal companies to expand their network. This cooperation helps them handle rural orders more efficiently. Although initially offering large coverage, the involvement of multiple intermediaries increases shipping costs, reducing cost competitiveness. For this reason, these companies are rarely chosen for international shipping. The second group to enter this fierce competition are large foreign companies. Despite their late entry, these companies have quickly risen to prominence, expanding their market with large capital. They also adopted a postal franchise model and reinvested profits. This group controlled the supply chain from the Chinese side, even possessing transport aircraft. SF Express gained an advantage in a completely different way by establishing its own airport. They not only focused on traditional postal delivery but also expanded into other logistics areas, from large manned cargo aircraft, UAVs, drones. In the latter, cargo aircraft help transport goods quickly on a large scale, especially suitable for long-distance transport. Meeting international and inter-provincial logistics needs, drones support the transport of small orders more quickly and efficiently. This expansion improves operational efficiency, thereby better serving customers and creating a more diverse logistics network. Thanks. this advantage, they significantly reduced shipping costs, even applying non-negotiable shipping fees to gain market share, causing the first group to increasingly fall behind in their home market. Companies in the second group have let in last-mile shipping, but in recent years, a new competitor has emerged. Shipping companies established by e-commerce platforms themselves. These e-commerce platforms have unique competitive advantages that other competitors lack. Firstly, thanks to their enormous volume of goods, platforms can negotiate more favorable shipping rates compared to traditional shipping companies, thus reducing shipping costs. Secondly, the platform's sorting centers are designed to handle millions of orders per day, optimizing the flow of goods, reducing warehousing time, and increasing distribution speed, thereby saving operating costs. Thirdly, platforms have the initiative in collecting and analyzing data from order placement to delivery. This allows platforms to better control the time, volume of goods, and final shipping costs instead of using the services of external logistics companies. Platforms can handle the entire process themselves, from consolidating goods in China, sorting, shipping, to last-mile delivery, thus eliminating the costs incurred from intermediaries, lead to a reduction in overall shipping costs. In the average time for goods from Chinese e-commerce platforms to arrive in Vietnam is typically 5 with 1 to 2 days for goods to travel from the store to the central warehouse in Shenzhen, and another 3 to 5 days for transportation from there to Vietnam. Of course, seems unsatisfied with this speed and continues to launch new strategies to maintain its position in cross-border trade. For example, many orders can now be delivered within just 2 days because goods are already stored in warehouses in Vietnam or along the border. This strategy, known as closer and faster, involves construction of transit warehouses near the border, such as Lang Son or Quang Ninh. This not only reduces travel time but also increases delivery speed and significantly saves on shipping costs. With these strategies, China is increasingly gaining market share in Vietnamese e-commerce. Furthermore, some experts believe that e-commerce platforms cross-border e-commerce has been ahead of Vietnam by about 10 years in digital technology thanks to many current advantages. They understand the behavior of Vietnamese consumers, making it easier to meet their needs. They even perform better than domestic businesses. Despite achieving significant success, the cross-border e-commerce industry is also facing the risk of a burst. Take a large e-commerce platform from China as an example. China Emergent Securities calculated that TMU loses between 588 million and 954 million USD annually. PDD's Q2 report shows that operating costs increased by 48% due to money poured into advertising and promotion. But also platforms like JD.com, Taobao, and Tmall have continuously lowered prices and increased subsidies, leading to the risk of a financial crisis in the context of economic recession. After the pandemic, fierce price competition has forced many large businesses to adjust their strategies to prioritize low prices, eroding profit, and putting heavy financial pressure on the cross-border e-commerce industry. Despite its success, China's strategy still carries many potential risks. To avoid a complete collapse, they will need further breakthroughs in their strategy. And music.